Ladies and gentlemen, Side Strafe back with some more World of Tanks, and today we're taking a look at the British Tier 9 heavy tank, Conqueror. And we're spotted, so we need to get to cover, although there is no artillery and tank destroyers might be a way out. So I've featured this bad boy in a few replays, but I haven't taken the time to go over it in extremely great detail. Look over its specifications and whatnot. So I thought I would jump into some live gameplay here and try to show you its pros and cons, minus user error, of course. Let's see what we've got. Most fighting at the usual location. I'm going to move up just a bit here and try to cover this flank because nobody else wants to. We've got an AMX that's going to help out, it looks like. Thank goodness. Now, this really isn't a city fighter. It's not a brawler. Once again, it plays like the Carnarvon. It is a long-range support tank. T11, what's he looking at? He took some shots at him, but now he might be looking at us. Wish I could figure it out. Jagdtiger as well. They're not really aware of my presence yet, so we might want to use this opportunity to jump on that a little bit there. What do we got? I want to track on that T95. Maybe we can stall him and somebody else can hit him. I don't know. I just thought I would go for it. That T110, E3. Oh, he's looking right this way. All right, bail. He's waiting for that. He's waiting for me to mess up. You do not want to get hit in the side armor of any British tank, or any tank really, but especially British tanks. Very weak side armor. But as you can see, there's no security on this flank. None. So if somebody comes over here, we're screwed. And I feel that, you know, I have to keep an eye on that now. While the rest of the team pushes. We have to look for our way into this game, basically. There's that T110 getting hit. So it looks like he's relocated. I'm not spotting any targets there. I'm still worried about my left. I'd love to be able to come around. Maybe there's this scout. Take him out real quick. Second scout kill of the day. T95 once again. Gonna go for a track shot, maybe just keep him there. Actually, I don't want to lose this location. Throw one into the IS-8 and bail. Hopefully the T95 is used as repair kits up at least, so that way when we do have to engage him, he doesn't have anything to work with. Now, they might be aware of my position now. Now we're finally getting some backup on this side. That's good. Jagdtiger. Actually, T95 gets in his way, so I take the shot at him instead. He's flipping about. Bring her back. Bring her back. Ouch. Oh, look at that. Really freaking lucky shot. Just turned around in the nick of time there. And now he's flipped back over. So, yeah, I'm going to do this again. Get some. Keep an eye on him. See what he's looking at. He's focusing on the other side. Jagdtiger is not paying too much attention, trying to hit that lower plate, maybe get into that engine, set him on fire. Not happening just yet. Not sure what he's looking at from here. Not me, apparently. 95, looking right this way. He's having to pick between us. The IS-8's still there as well. Trying to see. Okay, 95 is down. There goes the IS-8 for the hat trick. Now we can push up and around. 2 TDs and an AMX. Want to be careful about how we approach, because this thing lacks armor, and sometimes you get cocky, you want to move in, oh, we're winning this thing, and all of a sudden you're just done. Flat out done, because this thing cannot take even a few hits. Hopefully I don't jump into somebody's shot. All right, they're taking it out. So that was a pretty decent game in the Conqueror. You can see that you're not allowed to take much damage, but we did get hit by T-95, so there's not much that can survive from that. But what do we got? T-95, Radio Man, and tracks, as well as a track on the AMX. Just devastating the Chaffee on that first round there. All right, team score. 2,260 total damage. Not the best out of the team, but not really going to compete with some of these tank destroyers that have good targets. But a win nonetheless. So let's take a look at this bad boy. All right, so we've seen the Carnarvon. You're going to share the exact same hull. The armor does not change. 130 millimeters, 51 and 38 on the sides and rear. The same shape and everything. So there's that. You're going to want to worry about the lower plate because you take shots here, very much so a chance to hit that ammo rack. I believe there is some ammo stowed up front next to the driver, unfortunately. We got lucky that T-95, he penned about here, but it didn't look like it got us. I think it was at an angle, maybe went that direction instead of, straight into the back. So that's good. So again, can't get hit on the sides. All British tanks have horrible side armor. Side scraping, usually really just not a tactic. Any type of spaced armor, forget it. Doesn't really matter. Got some big tracks, kind of easy to hit. And rear armor is completely flat. So same problems as with the Carnarvon. And when you first get into this thing, you're going to have the exact same turret. You're going to have the Centurion Mark III turret on this. And you'll see here that the statistics for it are better than what you upgrade to on paper. So you're going to have 165, 112, and 112. 36 traverse, 400 view range. All right? On the upgraded turret, you're getting a downgrade. You're going to 152 armor, 89, and 70. And then 34 traverse from 36. View range stays the same. And you need it to get the final gun. There's no compromise. There's no, oh, I'm going to stick with the other gun. No, you have to get the final gun because it's that amazing. So while this turret is worse on paper, if you look at it, it's very well sloped and does manage to bounce quite a few lower caliber shots. You know, you're not really going to survive anything from a beast of a tank destroyer or anything with just some super powered gun on it. But you can see that if you angle this properly, sometimes it's gonna glance something there. The mantlet is pretty tough. You can see how thick this is. Not much is gonna go through that, but it's such a small target that most everybody's gonna try to hit you in the cheeks. The cupola itself is kind of sloped, so that'll sometimes bounce a shot. I've seen it happen. But on the sides or the rear, forget it. You do need to keep this thing hull down. The turret will bounce things, but generally, as I say in all of my tank reviews, don't get hit in the first place, or try not to as much as you possibly can. Stay back, support other vehicles, snipe, maintain hull down positions, just play really smart. You've got enough horsepower and speed to get to where you need to. You can relocate if people need your help on the other side of the map. It's a very mobile vehicle. But let's talk about the gun, because that's, of course, what matters most on this tank. 120 millimeter L1A1. You can see we've got a nice 5.71 rate of fire rounds per minute. Very fast when you consider this type of penetration at 259 and 400 damage. And then a .33 accuracy, 1.9 aiming time. The accuracy, fantastic, maintaining that British accuracy tradition. Aiming time is great, good enough to get you in and out of a fight. And just, yeah, usually if you're on target, generally going to pen. There are, of course, some targets where you really need to start thinking about the weak spots, lower glacis and glacis. Keep having issues with pronouncing that. But lower plate, machine gun ports, side, rear, weak spots of turrets. You're always going to want to aim at weak points, but with the power of the gun, it makes it a little easier. Now, you can, of course, grab some, APCR in a pinch and bring that up a bit. If we try to compare some ammunition here, we've got We go from the 194 pen on a regular shot to bringing that up to 245 with APCR average there. And I carry 5 rounds with me. I don't feel that I always need to use it. It's just there just in case. I feel like my normal rounds suffice. The gun is very capable. Again, you're going to see these values here, and changing up that ammunition is just going to increase your potential. So it's a wicked tank. You've got the Hesh rounds as well as a choice. If you think you can hit a soft target, yeah, maybe devastate them with some more damage. But I'm always, wary of switching to Hesh because I haven't had too much luck with it in the past. I think when they change the mechanics for it, it might be something to look at again. But, once in a while, I'll switch to it. So there is that. Again, all around great tank, good view range, good mobility, fantastic gun, just doesn't have armor. So if you're a brawler, close quarter guy, or somebody that likes to lead the charge and do the peekaboo fight, this is not the tank for you. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into another battle. I do recommend safe stowage on your loader, by the way, just because it will suffer from ammo rack issues at the front. And let's see what we got here. Top tier, ISA 103. We've got 2 pieces of artillery, a couple of AMXs. You do want to watch out for the auto loaders in any vehicle, but especially in British tanks because you've got such soft side armor that it's very easy for them to just finish you off. Especially if you've got 2 of them together. They're not platooned. We've got no platoons here, so we'll see how this rolls. Most likely going to head towards the north. You might have noticed that I have a new map mod. A lot of people seem to be using this one. I find that it is quite helpful in making up for the lack of communication on a team. Obviously, it's just hard to type. I don't do that much typing myself. I just use some quick keys here and there. But the map, I think, simulates real-world conditions where you would have a tank company communicating with each other, saying, all right, we've got to target this grid, or last known location here. And I think the map does that for you because it's, it's lighting up the enemy threats, simulating your crewmen radioing to each other, saying, hey, here's our target. Here's where we last saw this guy. So I think it's fair. I think it's something similar to what you would have in real life, just taking the place of communication. And so I think that it's an acceptable add-on, and I would suggest it. Link, of course, in the description below. But as you can see, we don't have much backup here. I'm going to signal, hey, we need some backup. SOS. I'm just going to maintain this position. I'm not going to move up because I'm going to get stuck over there, and that's not something I'm looking forward to. We're already taking fire. We've been spotted by a T-34 that we can't see. I'm going to call for help again, because this could potentially be a bag of stupid. Trying to just watch this area here and cover the WZ, but I don't know how this is going to go. I don't really feel good about this because we've got some units over by the mountain, on the kind of on the cliff overlooking the battlefield. But see if I can light anything up. Nope. I don't have Sixth Sense activated yet, so we won't know if we're spotted. Most likely they're going to push around that ridge. We know that we can fall back here and take cover if we need to. There could be somebody right around this rock, and I really just can't tell yet. T-69 is making his push. I haven't seen anybody else yet. A T-34 had fired at us, but not sure from where. The Comet, last known location. There he's moving up with the T-69. I'm sorry, man, you pushed up too far by yourself. I can't really help you, and I'm not going to risk my tank on that type of maneuver. Just trying to spot again on that flank. T-69, taking a look at our situation here. Really wanting to keep an eye out either direction. There's the Comet I'm not going to have a shot just yet. Critical hit. Maybe just went into his track there. Otherwise, that would have been a nice shot, and he'd be done. At least from an ally. There's the AMX moving up. The T-34 that fired at me, I believe, is now at the cliff over there. T-69 pushed up a bit more. That AMX might think that he's going to flank around. But there is artillery, so that's not necessarily a fantastic idea. I'm going to try to get this thing into a hull down position and let them come over. Alright, so this isn't a horrible spot if they want to come through here. Just need to kind of see right when they come about, maybe about there. Except the problem is people push up and just sometimes you need to just let them come through. Shot out from the Comet, I think. He's got that little spot right there. I would love for him to do that again. Yag Tiger wanting to move up. Not a great idea because he's got that lower plate that's very weak, prone to engine fire. I don't have a shot on this 34. What's that Comet going to try to do? I might... There we go. Arced went into his front hull, it looked like. And they're just chilling around the corner there. Comet's down, so he's no longer a threat. Looks like, was that an arty shot there? Yeah. We might be able to push this engagement. We've got an AMX flanking around. The only problem with going that route is always dealing with artillery. We can support him as we've got the AMX that's going to be a great flanker. The Yag Tiger has better armor, except for that lower plate. Feels like most anything can get through that. We're just going to back this guy up, maintaining his speed so we can go in together and focus fire if we need to. But I see a nice bit of cover there, and I'm wanting to go for it, and I think that they're falling back. This is Super Pershing just kind of chilling. Is he there? Let's find out. I believe he's AFK. Yeah. Oh, this is just gonna be... I don't really think that that's all that, you know, challenging, but whatever. Bad time to have your game crash or whatever happens. They've got some arty on the board still, which is always a threat to this vehicle. You can see it's a big target from above. I've got that Tiger too that will be able to flank in a second. AMX took a major blast. See if we can pop right on over. I wonder if that was an immobilizing shot. They're probably going to finish him off before I can even get one in. There's a 420. And am I going to get the last shot? No, he leaves. Aw, at the last second there. One at ranged, perhaps. Boom. Showing off the accuracy of this British gun. Once again, already inbound. Just missing it. Full speed on. Get behind some cover here. He's lit. Time to say goodnight. Let's switch over to Hesh on the next shot, just in case we miss this and don't manage to finish him off, but we're probably going to grab him. Don't think I have a piece of him. There's just this gun barrel. Oh, 390. There he is. He had his gun barrel in the air. I was like, I don't know that I can hit that, and I don't even know if it's going to damage anything, but there's that one. All right, not bad there. Not bad at all. We took it slow. We've got, let's see, some... Yeah, we just took out the commander. Made sure that he stayed down. This guy was AFK, so that didn't really count, but I got some track damage on the Comet. Yep, that's what I thought. And some good kills there. How do we do? 2,438 damage. Not bad. Some accurate shots there at the end as well, bringing home 34K. So you can see what this thing is built for. It's all about that range. Very accurate final shot we had on that game. Very hard to miss, especially with 8.6 game mechanics. If you're missing with this thing, then I don't know what to tell you. Adjust the sensitivity on your mouse. Otherwise, again, you have to play it safe. Go in slow and go with an ally. You can see there I was trying to match the speed of the Jagdtiger until I was sure that the front was secure. All we had to deal with was an AFK super Pershing. I made sure that there was a wreck in front of me that I could hide behind. Always playing it safe. Don't play peekaboo for too long. If you're at a building, you peek out, you fire a shot, and they know you're there. Maybe it's time to relocate. In my first match, I felt confident in knowing that I had the speed to kind of reverse and pull forward enough to deal with those guys. I was trying to just look out with my camera and see that they were looking at other targets. We got one hit by that T-95 there. That could have been worse, but all in all, not bad, and a good choice of targets for these matches. No major losses with it, but I'll tell you that I have had some really bad games with this tank. Usually, the way I play with it, I end up being the last one left alive because I'm supporting others or maintaining a sniper position. You really have to pick your moments and utilize the advantages of the map cover. Some maps, like the close quarter battle maps, the city maps, don't really cater to this tank because you just have to get into it. All I can say is, you know, come up and try to, you know, flank around, peekaboo once, and then bail and make sure that they're distracted by other vehicles. Otherwise, if you're used to the Carnarvon, then just keep doing what you've been doing with that tank. Pretty much the same. When you go into tier 10, things are going to change mostly because the turret is at the back of the hull, so you can no longer do any of that peekaboo unless you're, you know, going the other way around. You're going to get, the turret looks the same, but you're going to get more armor on it, so that's going to help out. But otherwise, with the whole shape of this vehicle, I mean, it looks like a tank destroyer, and a lot of people are wondering if, you know, this thing should be switched out for something else, perhaps a prototype chieftain tank, because while your armor goes up a little bit on the hull and it goes up a lot on the turret, its fighting style I just don't think fits a heavy, and with the turret at the back, it's not just about looks. That actually greatly affects your gameplay, so there's not a whole lot you can do with that. The rate of fire is going to go up on the gun, which is nice, but really doesn't feel like a huge upgrade for me, and I'm very satisfied with just being at the Conqueror. I will unlock it, you know, I'll play with it, but, you know, just I'm very, very, very happy with this thing. Definitely a keeper, no doubt in my mind. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's been my look at the Conqueror. Highly recommend it if you're into something that's just a gun on wheels. If you want armor, if you want a brawl, then negative, not a tank for you. Otherwise, it makes me laugh and it puts a smile on my face using this thing, and that's how you know it's a keeper. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. I will definitely see you on the next one.